is it? What is it?
I watched photos of my buddy Oliver from Poltergeist.
I saw those
the grown
too.
man that played Oliver all those years ago. He went to the Poltergeist house in Los Angeles, and he was wearing a pair of pajamas. I don't know how he did it. Well, actually, I know Oliver's an amazing guy, and I'm sure he had the pajamas made for him.
Oh
They were
yeah.
a version of the pajamas he wore in the movie, and he handed out candy at the Poltergeist house.
So next year he's going to have to talk to me to talk to my prop guys on a Combat Radio Christmas Carol so they can build him a tree that swallows kids.
Uh,
Like
have you?
maybe you can do a thing where you climb up and you slide down the tree's mouth and you pop out the bottom of the tree
Yeah,
like a
that
slide
would
and you get
probably be
your
good. Have you interviewed Oliver? I don't
I
know if you
have,
have.
yeah. Yeah, I
You have.
have.
Did he tell you the story about the tree and how the tree the take? I believe this is true. He and I have talked about it at so many Comic Cons and autograph things. The tree got a little crazy and actually really did start hurting him.
Really?
So yeah, and he was kind of trapped in there, and they finally had to yell cut, and they had to get him out of the tree. So he wasn't hurt, he wasn't injured, but I think he told me that maybe the take that they ended up using was the one of him really yelling. So there you go.
For his life.
For his life, yes.
I
So,
saw him out at the house, and I wonder what the scene is like at the house before he started showing up and before this was available to like Airbnb it. And like, I wonder if people knew and like there was some sort of atmosphere generated from that, or if now with everyone kind of pumping the atmosphere into it, if it's really starting to take off. But he took advantage of it, and I think he was even like giving out candy and stuff. Like, was he
he was,
surprising people at the door? And
yeah, and he was giving out candy
yeah,
in his red pajamas from the movie.
such a
So,
good performance by that kid. You know, it's fun to see the movie. You know, we were both
did you end up
talking about.
watching it again
I
on
watched
Friday?
it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it. It was on. It was on between The Haunting and Universal's Dracula, so it was part of a pretty steady, epic lineup for Halloween. And then, of course, I work my way as the margaritas kick in, Martin. I work my way into like the Vincent Price House on Haunted Hill, the things that are a little bit more laughable but still spirited, that I love, by the way. But I did watch it, and because we had talked about it, and it was actually nice to talk to you because you're one of the few people I know that know Toby Hooper, and after our conversation, it gave me a lot more to think about when I was watching it in a weird way, almost like a college class, because I was looking, it's funny. I remember Gunnar Hansen, the original Leatherface,
Mhm.
who we would always go to dinner at the Rainbow. And I remember him talking about how he couldn't connect with Hooper. Hooper was going through some sort of issue where he occasionally would become what some people would define. I don't know if this is the clinical term, but he'd be kind of a shut-in. He'd kind of keep to himself for times, at least as I knew him. And Gunnar was saying, I haven't been able to get in touch with him. I wanted him to collab on the book. He'd come out with a really good book on the making of Texas Chainsaw Massacre called Chainsaw Confidential, which I will say, not because Gunnar was my friend, but that's probably the definitive production book on it because it really is a day to day in the trenches, like detailed, like this is what I'm dealing with story. But he couldn't get in touch with him, and we were talking about how it reminded me, number one, that Gunnar years ago said Toby didn't like to talk about Poltergeist. So believe it or not, when I saw Toby, we never brought it up. I don't. Well, I don't typically, when you see your friends, bring up their work anyway, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of talk about other things, and we would like, did you see the Texas A&M game or stuff like that? But it occurred to me that I had never spoken. Watching the movie on Halloween occurred to me I had never spoken to Toby about the movie, not one frame of it. But Gunnar at dinner once said, he was, again, like everyone else, as the myth is perpetuated into a cyclone of bigger and bigger myths. He's like, I think he only directed one scene, and it was the scene with the chairs. And I remember that pops up on Friday, and I'm just looking at the brilliant execution of how that was done. And it occurred to me that I think was the only scene I ever heard Toby talk about actually on his own.
They come out of darkness, sometimes with thunder, sometimes with lightning. Their presence means death.
The prison master was afraid of him. The guards were afraid of him. The town was afraid of him. Lucifer is coming for you. Rest easy, Jack Carr said in a low tone. You're in the final 30 seconds of your life. No quarter. No quarter. Kill all masters. Coming soon